forget I did not put on the mic. Welcome, guys. Welcome to my live. I know Auntie D coming on a little late. Oops. Coming on a little late. But it's not very late. How are you doing? I see I have company. I see I have company. Welcome to the live. Can you just try to put on the mic? Okay. Can you just come on in, tap the screen, or touch the thumbs up button and say where you're from? Because I know that some persons are trying. Thank you. Can you not say where you're from? I'm happy to know that I have company, that I'm not alone, right? I tried to come on a little earlier, but boy, is that the time is beating me, but I cannot give up on my commitment. How are you doing? Happy that you have touched the like button. And I hope that you just take time and come on in just the same. Make another step and step right in. And let me know how your day went. What type of weather you're having, if it's that cool or very hot. Or where in the world are you at this moment? Where are you having some fun? Or is it that you're on the other side of the globe? You're way into the night hours, very late. Or you're on the side where it's soon to be daybreak. Where are you? Where in the world are you? I know this time many persons may be not able to come on. Maybe they're saying that I'm not going to come. But I have a commitment. See, I have another company. Just touch the thumbs up button and just say where you're from so we can all know. Where in the world are you from? What's your name? Where are you? Are you at a chip descriptor? Where were you on 9/11? I was not anywhere near here in 9/11. Chip descriptor, you must be somebody who likes to script. Riley McKenzie, hello, Riley. Happy to have you, Melanie Restrip. Boy, you guys, I have to try not to damage your name, you know. Melanie Restrepo, Baron. Hello. Space Cowboy 9. Is this Big Mama's house? Whoa. Big Mama's house. My. I don't know who is Big Mama. Big Mama is a big fat person. And I'm not big and fat. Adrian Jones. Hi, Adrian. And Guillermo Miguel. Hi. Ellie Potoy. You call me grandma. I'll take it, but I'm not a grandma yet. Hi, grandma. How you doing? I am doing quite fine. Maybe because I put on my bun. It's night. And I just say, because I'm hurrying to come on. I don't want you guys, the time I'm going to fix up, I would take probably too long. And maybe I shouldn't put it on there. Maybe I should take it off. Maybe that's why somebody called me grandma. Right? Because they don't see all of my hair. But it's not my real hair neither. So let me leave it out like this then. When I'm not a grandma, one day I'll be a grandma soon, but I can be a grandma to many persons. Right? Adrian, I'm happy to see you. And Guillermo Miguel, that sounds like a Spanish name. And guys, when you come on in, just touch the thumbs up button, guys, and let it look like we are sending out something, right? Let it look like we have something in mind. We are learning over here, right? We can't just Ellie Portoy. Yeah, I'm trying to do well, no matter what. Auntie D doesn't worry about a thing. Because you see, once you have life, you have hope. Because many a times we have everything to make us happy, and we don't have good health. And if we don't have good health, nothing to me can make me happy. So I prefer to have good health and Some of the things I don't have them. Right? You know what it meant to be happy? When you're not, you don't have any health issues. You can run and jump, you can exercise, you can just do everything like you're a child. But it's when I start having pains and hypertension, heart condition, arthritis, you name it. No, man, it's not nice. You're not going to enjoy it. So that is why I always say, when you're free from those things, enjoy it. But the one thing that will make you unhappy is when you don't have any money. And money is important, right? If you don't have money, you're not going to be happy. Don't tell me that. You get up this morning, you say, boy, I wish I had $1,000. I would do this and I would do that. Then you happen to get more than $1,000. What did you do? You waste it. You blow it out. So sometimes we have to be, don't have anything. Well, my little time that I want us to spend together, I want to talk a little about natural disasters. Guys, I've seen, yeah, I've been watching the earthquake. I experienced earthquake already, I'm telling you, you want to run, walk, jump, do everything at the same time and you cannot move. It's like you're frozen. No matter what you say, that's one thing you cannot be prepared for because it is so untimely. I was looking at the video on the television earlier tonight when they were showing over in Myanmar. I could see some tourists sitting not sitting, lying down on their relaxing chair beside the pool. Can you imagine? The pool was at the very top of this huge. The buildings are pretty, though, the pools were there. This huge pool, and there was this young man. It seems standing at the side of the pool, looking at the water because he realized something was wrong. And the water just came, boom, boom, the big heavy waves. He couldn't go in. He couldn't go in. But he stand in the water, couldn't move. And the other tourists, it seems, were laying down, but they must fit, but you see, they cannot move. They just cannot move. It's like if you're away from it, then you may be able to run. But when you're actually there, I saw the vehicles and just stop. It's like, because if you're ever driving, I'm told that it just keep, like, it neither going forward nor backward. No matter what gas you give it, it's just like it's stuck in its position. And then I looked and saw those huge buildings, Some of the buildings are 30 stories high, so high. And these buildings just come down with, one of them had three cranes and them working. And it just come down and just drop and fall down, crumble down. I've never seen a devastation like that before. Maybe because the city has so many high-rise buildings. It was really scary. A person could have been in there. I think many more persons die, because falling down on other people's property, and maybe they were inside the house cooking, bathing, sleeping, you name it. I just come down and lit down until it make like a huge dust go up. It was very, very, I feel for the people then. I really feel for them, I really, really feel sorry for them. And that's why I say that's one thing. No matter how we are prepared, we have to prepare ourselves with the knowledge, right? The knowledge of what we should do in the event of a quake. Because you're going to run. You're going to run. The best of persons, we know we should go under a bed or under a table. By the time you realize it, it's finished. The damage is done. You have to stand in a doorway and the huge building is coming down on top of you. So you're going to run out. You're going to run, man. You're going to run because you want to get away from the building. So I look at it as one of the most dangerous natural disasters. Dangerous because oftentimes it can come with a tsunami. It can come with a tsunami. And these are not things that we should take lightly, or smile about. It's not something, unlike the hurricanes back where I'm from in the West Indies, in the Caribbean, because nobody says West Indies anymore. In the Caribbean, we do have tremors, right? But the The largest one that ever did any real damage was the one at Port Royal, where half of Port Royal is still so many miles below water, right? It's covered. It's a very big city, and a lot of things are happening there. But it look like when things happening bad in some places, some things always come up to quell it a while, you know. And Port Royal is there. It's just there covered with water, with sea, just there. I don't even know if people go there and fish. I don't even think so. But what it reminds me of is when we are having every year we have what is known as hurricane season in the Caribbean. I guess some places may call it typhoon or something else, but we are cyclone. But we have what is known as hurricane every year between more time between May and even November, December. So it's like we have half of the year with hurricanes. Sometimes hurricanes do come and pass us close by. They will hit us too, and sometimes they just while they're on their way coming, they will get weaker. You know, sometimes it moves on different levels. It moves on like this. You know, it's sorry, a depression, then becomes a tropical wave, and it steps up until it reaches storm, then a hurricane, and then the hurricane has different categories, right? And you can prepare, you can buy food, batten up your houses, batten down the roof, secure the place properly, and you can be inside a good structure and it doesn't affect you. But unlike some persons whose home may not be so strong, the zincs on the roof would blow off or the board would sway, so it may collapse. And if you have a lot of trees in your yard, you are being advised to cut down the limbs or remove those trees from beside the houses. So sometimes the trees fell on the house, because when the strong hurricane wind blowing at all 170 miles an hour, anything in its path, it will destroy it and dump it onto your property, dump it on your house or whatever. You understand me? So each year we prepare for hurricane, and it's very costly because we have to buy a lot of groceries. You have to buy a lot of groceries and put them up, right? So that when the hurricane comes now, you're able to. So you always buy non-perishable goods. When the hurricane comes, you have food, because you see, if you wait until when it comes to buy food, then you're not going to get anything because the stores are going to be closed. They're going to be closed, and persons are not going to leave their homes to go and deliver goods because they have to secure their property too. So what will happen is you are going to be hungry, you and your family. So what people always do, they go to the store and they buy and they shop a lot of things that can stay for a good while, and prepare themselves for anything that will cause them, not having anything to eat. You don't have any cooking gas, but for sure, normally in a hurricane, the electricity goes. So you have to have some other utensils, like maybe the lamp. So you'd have extra kerosene oil, because if you're going to have standby um, um, lamps, electrical lamps that you have to charge, when there's no current, you won't be able to charge it, right? So the lamp, that one won't have any use. People use candles, but I don't like candles because candles always cause people damage. Sometimes it fall down and catch a place of fire. Sometimes by the time you fall asleep, you hear fire, fire. You have to run. So I don't promote candles, but I would say if you're going to have candles, have some secure containers that the candles they won't lean or fall down. And some places I've seen some beautiful candles. They're already in their protective area, and then you just put it down and you light it. And candles can also stay for a very long time. But if you know you have children around, you have to be very cautious with the candle because children like to play with candles. They like to play around the candles. So when it comes to hurricane now in the Caribbean, we can prepare. Unlike for the quake, we call it quake. That one, you, no matter, you prepare yourself with knowledge what you should do in the event of it coming. So you have to train your family members what to do. So that is why sometimes I don't like living on the top. But once you're above one floor up, it is hard because even if you have to jump from a second floor, without you may hurt yourself, you may break your leg or something. So therefore, people I saw like somebody was jumping from a window. It makes you panic. You don't know what you're doing because you don't want it to collapse on you. But now what they're saying is they are having the foul smell now. It's happened I think Saturday night, went into Sunday. Saturday evening or Sunday, something like that. 1 p.m. I think. Either 1 p.m. Saturday or so. So by now, people would you would start get smell. And that is why too, when people are missing, you don't know where they are. You don't know where they are. So that is why when people are going out, you need to inform your family members, those at home. Because what if you're living nearby now and you decide to go someplace and you are there and it happened and you get snuffed out? Nobody will know that you're there. But if somebody knows that you went, they could say, "Oh, I have not heard from John. And he said he was going to Myanmar." Right? So it is very sad. It's a sad thing. And I don't wish it on anywhere and anybody because you see, for me, once you cannot give life, you cannot give it, you cannot make it, then you have to respect life. Right? Respect life. So we talked about the hurricanes, we talked about the quakes. Well, we have other natural disasters because even rain can cause heavy flooding, if you don't have proper drainage. But when you have proper drainage now, it will take away the water from the property or from person's home, and you won't give such a bad effect. But if there are no good drains, then persons are going to be in trouble, right? Yes, they're going to be in trouble. And you can also look at say volcanic eruptions. That one you can prepare because you know it's there because you can see the signs of it, and you know when it is active. When it is active, it will spit. You will see it show fire, spit fire on top of it. It's like a high mountain. So you have to show the fire so you know that it's acting up. And there are times the fire goes down. You don't see anything. You may see a little smoke. You may not see anything. So some of those things you can prepare, but the quake cannot prepare for it. I can imagine those persons who are building those huge buildings won't be able to come back on their feet again. I don't see them coming back. But look at the many homes that were damaged. Look at the many homes, right? Many homes. Persons could be, what I look at, persons on vacation, or they are just resting. And by the time they should realize that something is going on, they are trapped. Because you could see where the workers were trapped. And in the different places, persons may have been there doing business or in their homes. Because you could see some homes. I saw a young lady with a lot of ducks running. Maybe she get excited or so. But the ducks were there running fast, running away. Because I can imagine the sound that it gives you. Even when the buildings are so tall. So when they swing out and collapse, it must give a sound. I don't know how those people are going to clean up the place. I don't know. But it's too sad. Every time I look at it, I say, oh my God, I'm sorry for them. I'm really sorry for them. But it tells me that in everything we do in life, we must try and have some caution. At the same time, we must show love. Because many persons know if they had not said they were selfish, they don't relate to anybody. What is going to happen to them? If they are trapped in those high buildings, they may not be able to get out. They may not be able to get out because when I look and see all of those debris, glass, electric wires, all those things come tumbling down, and the buildings sway like they're blowing in the wind. And I look at the utility pole just swaying, bowing, and not just an ordinary, just going on. And the poles were just like they were just jump, just lift up. It was so scary. If I was there, I would want to run and get run. Because I saw the workmen them trying to move aside, like they're frozen, watching the water. That's how the water was behaving. I'm telling you guys, this is one of the worst ones I've ever seen, and I feel so sorry for the people there. I feel so sorry because, you know, you look at life where you make an achievement, you acquire something, and some disaster just come and take it away. Just take it like that. Our person's home. You fix up your house so nicely. You have a nice furniture and everything good. And there comes some problem with fire. And it sweeps right through and take down everything. Can you imagine? So when we look at life, we have to be concerned and try to reach out to other people. And even though we are not, they are so far across the world. They are on this other side of the globe. We can't be there. We don't have the money to reach there. And because they're so far away. But what we can do, we can whisper a prayer for them. Yeah. And you must remember that God answers prayer in the morning, in the evening, in the midday. God answers prayer anytime. Because the Bible says the prayer of a righteous man availeth much. And we are not righteous. Right? So we look at persons suffering. Because I know a lot of them are going to go crazy. Because they're not going to be able to rebuild anything. And more so, many have lost family members. I think there are more persons missing than what is really they have said. Because it's not easy. And then when they're going to take up all those rubble now, if they're not careful, it's going to be mixed up with the dead people. Because it's difficult to go there and take up all those material, and then the body starts decomposing, so it's all mixed up. So you see, our bodies are really nothing. It's nothing. So everything mixed up with the crumbling and everything come down. So when they scoop up, so you see, sometimes we say we're going to have big funeral, but what is there now? What is there? So what the Bible says, the fool and his money shall part. So once we are alive, and we have hope. We have hope. So at the same time, we can discourage others because we need to lift up. We have to be loving and kind. Sometimes it's very difficult to love persons who don't love you. It's difficult, but at least try to be kind. Try to be kind. Because I can imagine those people they don't have anywhere to go. Their house mash up. Everything in the house, all the grocery, everything mash up and mix. They cannot go in there. And by the time they finish clean up that place, they may not even have that property anymore. Because maybe they wouldn't have any document to show because everything is practically gone. When I see this huge building with the huge columns, it just lying down like it's paper. Man. Although I spoke about it, the earthquake before, but I said, we have to look at it from a serious point of view. We are always hearing about earthquakes down by California. But look where this happened. In the Caribbean, up to last week, they had a 4 point something tremor. And look what happened now. I would say to myself, boy, if the place was closer, they'd have said it's the same tremor went to that place. Because it's so far away. You have to think otherwise. We have to think otherwise. So, guys, as I say, I'm just coming on to share a little time with you because we are all droopy. We are all drooping. So, and persons may be trying to make the second turn in the night. But I'm still not sleepy, Because at one point I said to myself, I could do a live starting at about 2 o'clock. And then I said, whoa, I may be so wrapped up in sleep that my voice may not be clear. So I said, let me just come now and have a little chat with you guys and talk a little about natural disasters. And what I want to reinforce with persons likewise myself too, because the more you talk, you remember. Let us train our family members in the event of an earthquake, because we are humans, we are all going to panic and run outside. But we should have a place in our yard, if we have a yard. If we don't have any yard, you have to identify a safe spot nearby where you're going to be coming out of, because look at you running out of your house to go into the middle of the road to stand when there are other high-rise buildings along the roadside that can fall on you. So you have to identify a place on the street to say, well, we will have to, when anything like of this nature, we will rush out of the house and go down to that right where and tell them where. So and then we check. So if you know you have 2 children and a husband and they say 4, you shout quick, and everybody know they have to. Then I run up and the house and like them not have any sense. They turn fool. So once you practice it, and you can practice it too as I'm talking now. When everybody just gone, don't wait till when they're really sleeping, going about to say go, go to bed, or maybe sometime in the afternoon, everybody's more relaxed in their rooms, or they're having a little snack, so they're not thinking about anything. But it's best if you try it in the dark, in the night, like about 8 o'clock. Just suddenly turn off all the lights. Or if you don't want to do that, okay, you don't want them to see. Sorry if I sound like I'm lying, but if you don't turn off the lights, they're going to see the things that they're not shaking. So you will turn off the light quickly and shout, quick! And see if person remember what you had told them where to go. So you keep doing it maybe every now and again, not too often, so that persons know, because you have to educate, There's no two-way about it. You have to educate persons when it comes to this quake. You have to educate him, no matter who, right? Get away from the building. So you have to identify, not just anywhere, identify a spot. And you rush there. So husband and wife and children, most of them must go to number 2 light post or number 2 down the road and stand there. So make them know that, oh, my little brother didn't come. So they know that he's inside. He's trapped. But when you scatter all over the place, nobody knows where each other is because of panic. Panic, and we lose focus. And when you lose focus, you do wrong things. Right? You do wrong things. So let us try. As I say, with the hurricane, it's easier because you can get somebody to cut off the limbs that hangs close to your house. Or you don't plant the trees too close to your house. Is that when the trees get mature, in the event of a hurricane, they fall on your house. So you have to choose where you're going to plant those trees. Understand? You have to choose. So that is why I look at some homes where persons don't plan. They go and when they're ready to, they just carry the thing of plan close to the house. Yes, it's good and well and good to plant them close to the house because it makes the house cool. But look at it from a point of view where if you have to, if you have to do an extension to the house, you'd have to cut down those trees. That's a waste. And if there's a hurricane pending, you have to make sure you cut off some limbs or cut down the tree. You understand me? I've seen situations where there has been hurricanes and it falls strictly on the person's house and just mash it up. Just brush it up. So you see, we have to think where we are going to put plants when we are planting them. think sensibly. And it's good to have trees in your yard, but plant them away from the house so that we do, because we do need fresh air. We need to breathe clean air. And during the dry, hot summer months, you want fresh air to breathe. You understand? Because the AC and the fan cannot give you enough. Cannot give you enough. So you need fresh air to breathe, right? So we practice. We have to practice, and guys, we have to practice. Because if we don't practice our children to do certain things, when they become adult, they're not going to carry it through. They hear, quick, they're sleeping. You have to go shake them up, shake them up. Oh, be quick, everyone. They're supposed to sleep and listen. So if you're lying down and it quick, you must not say something is not normal. The bed is shaking. You understand me? Or you hear something sliding. So people have to be more attentive. You have to be more attentive. Yes, when we're sleeping, we want to sleep. We want a good sleep. But we must sleep. Remember that we have to sleep on guard. You have to sleep on guard, you know. You can't sleep like you don't know, say something's gonna happen. Maybe in the midst something you can have an electrical fault and there's a fire. You have to run. Would you know where your documents are? That's when the fire truck comes. They can, you know, you have to plan, man. Natural disasters can cause land slippage, soil erosion. The hillside tear down on your house and cover it up. Understand me? So I'm just wanting to share with you guys. I'm not going to go my usual time because I know I come on a little late. And I'm just here, not sleepy at all. I had a good rest last night, but because I know I had to get up very early to start the day early. I woke up very, very early. So a part of the time I really was dozing away. But then I said, no, if I sleep in the day, when the night comes, I can't sleep. I'm going to be miserable. So I said, let me just go through the day until when it's time. You know, I go and wrap up. And you know, guys, in spite of we having nice weather, it is still cold, you know. Not because you see me like this without my things. It is still cold. But I'm inside and it's relatively warm. Relatively warm, so I don't I don't really worry. You know, it's relatively warm. I see I have company. Guys, can you touch the thumbs up button? And come in and tell us where you're from. Where in the world are you from? Where in the world are you from? I know I have company because I see company. But some people don't want to share, you know, they don't want me to recognize them. And I would love to recognize you guys, you know, when you come on the live. I'd love to recognize you. But some people don't want to be recognized. They keep in the corner. They keep in the corner. But like I said, just a little live tonight. I will just allow you guys to go so I can have a nice rest too. Likewise, we all need that, you know, to catch up. We all need that to catch up on. We need a little beauty sleep so we can overrun the engine. If we overrun the engine, it's gonna stop, not going any further. Right? So let me wish for you a pleasant evening. Have a good night's rest. And I'll see you all by God's grace tomorrow morning. I hope to do it have a live about 10:30. I forget. 10:30 for me is 9:30 for you. I'll see what much I can get it done. Because I really, I see that we all need a little break, right? So remember, guys, when it comes to natural disasters, it's nothing that you can prevent that much because it has to do with nature, right? It has to do with nature. Nobody can control nature, but at least there are some things that you can put in place for your safety, for yourself, your property, and your family, right? You have to have some measures in place, else you're going to lose everything. And can you imagine if you don't, if, especially when trees are around your property and they you have a beautiful house and it just falls on it and just bring it down, all because it was poor planning of how you should put the trees, especially the trees. And you know that you have to reinforce windows and doors during hurricane period. That's, and then you have to have a little extra cash because you always have to be buying groceries, putting up for rainy day, right? And something the groceries cost so much, and by the time you 2 days time what you buy is just gone because everything you put in your mouth you have to eat, you have to buy. Unlike when you live in the country parts, you can go and pick the breadfruit, cut a banana, or pick because the winds, sorry, the winds are going to blow down those fruit trees. So within a week, within 2 weeks, you would have surplus, and after that, no, nothing. Right? So, guys, remember to like my video and subscribe to the channel. Look at my videos, man. I have a lot of videos there that is almost 200, and I'm just hoping that you like them. And whatever you do, subscribe to Auntie D TV and share the videos to your family and friends. Share, man, and share. Nobody stop share because Auntie D just wanted share out. You share things, just let people share and like it, so that it can go all over, right? So we'll catch you again in my next live. Ta-ta. Sleep well, have a good night. Wherever you are, enjoy the live. We'll meet again, hopefully. Bye bye.